Hello, everyone, and welcome to the series on Know Your Community. Today, we have a fantastic guest who you will get to know soon. And hello, Heidi, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Heidi, what you do amazes me, and you are very specific in what you do. So, please tell us a little bit about you and then about what you do.
Thank you. So, effectively, I help business owners to get into the press, and that's online media features, physical hard papers, on TV, and on radio as well.
What got you into that very niche area?
That's a really good question. So I started as a freelance journalist 27 years ago, just over
Mm.
27 years ago. I've always wanted to write. I've always loved writing. So when I was a freelance journalist, I was writing lifestyle features, and I absolutely loved it. Um, Somewhere along the line, I realized that journalism back then certainly wasn't paying. It wouldn't give me the lifestyle that I wanted in terms of not being amazingly rich, but I think that we need to balance our passions with financial sense as well. When I looked back, it didn't make financial sense. I took a bit of a break for a while. I worked in local government for 5 years. And when my daughter was one, I decided to launch my publicity company. As a freelance journalist, I had worked with publicists so much that I loved the idea of being on the other side. And that's really what prompted it. It was really to help business owners to get into the press and to get stories out there.
Wow. And what you just said is powerful, right? So you're helping people's stories get out there. And this is something a lot of us, people like me, uh, for us, it's a very valuable service. And the RP community, the listeners viewing to this audio, it is definitely a very valuable service for those listening. So in terms of what you do as a publicist, please tell us a little bit more about what publicist actually means.
So, me personally, I am a storyteller. I'm a storyteller at heart. I've been telling other people's stories for the last 27 years. What a publicist does is we are basically the voice for our clients. We are the voice of small businesses. We are the voice of entrepreneurs. We are the voice of larger companies. And we effectively help to craft powerful messages that go to the outside world. Every business should have a message that they're putting out. Every person has got a story, and we craft it in such a way that it's digestible to the outside world.
Woody, again, it's a powerful thing, right? So each of us have a story, as we say, every face tells a story, and every business tells a story. And
Yeah.
getting that story out, it's itself a powerful gift. And thank you for doing this for us. And yeah, please tell us about the stories that carried the message, and what did it actually mean to that specific business or that specific person.
Sure. So I've worked with clients globally, and for me, it's just really an honor to serve. I absolutely love what I do because everybody's story is different. For example, over the weekend, I had a piece that went out for a client in a UK national over here. It went out online, but it was also in the physical paper. What it meant for that specific client was potential clients were able to see them, but on a personal note, they bought the paper, they showed it to their parents, and their parents were screaming. I mean, I spent a lot of Sunday just screaming because it was so powerful for them to be able to pick up the paper and see them in it, their business that they've worked so hard to create being received by a journalist. And for a lot of business owners, it's like secondhand endorsement.
Yeah.
As business owners, we are consistently looking for social proof. So when someone like Forbes writes about you, a publication like Forbes or Business Insider or Fortune, it's like an endorsement right there.
And and that itself is like having, what do you call, a major college degree, or a certification or something far more tangible, that is a living proof and an endorsement, as you say, and it speaks volumes.
Thank you. And it's interesting because I've never heard anybody equate it as having a college degree, but you're absolutely right. It is. It's that accolade. It's that well done. It's being recognized. Now, people often ask me, they talk about editorials, which is basically paid, basically paid for features. Now, anybody can pay for a feature, but not anybody can secure a media feature. You have to have a story. So oftentimes people say to me, can't I just place an advert? Well, of course you can, but anybody can do that. And you don't want to do something that anybody can do. And also, it's about the story with adverts and editorials. That's about commercial gain, both for the recipient, but also for the publication. When you take away money and the journalist writes a glowing story, that's really powerful.
Yeah, and that's it's something like, as you said, you worked for it, and here is the endorsement, and this is a proof of someone's life work, and
Most
and that,
definitely.
yeah, and it is powerful for the community watching this, because all of us, most of us, have a story, and story worth telling. And in terms of your approach, how do you go about it? Because it's a very difficult world to navigate.
It's an interesting one. So whenever I talk to potential clients, I'm talking to them, but in my head, I'm crafting media angles. As I mentioned, I'm a storyteller, and because I worked in journalism over 27 years ago, I've got an eye for a story. So the minute that you can tap into the person's story, that's the gold right there. I think because I've been doing it for so long, I'll instantly be spinning stories in my head. One of the questions that I get asked quite a lot is, but say if you haven't got contacts at such and such publication, it's not about the contacts. It's all about the story. So, as part of my job, whenever I take on a new client, I basically spend a lot of time listening. I ask questions, I listen, I gather the gold, then I pitch to the media. I often say that I'm like a mirror to a lot of my clients. I basically show them who they really are. I listen and I show them who they really are. And they're often amazed because when you are working in your business on a day to day, you can almost forget some of the big things that you're doing and you can almost take it for granted. I'm that mirror. I'm like, there you are.
And for most of us in the ERP space, listeners listening to this, we know how difficult it is to, find ourselves recognized by a journalist. So if you are looking to craft your story and tell your story, Hades is a person you can talk to. So now, Hades, how can people reach out to you?
So the best place would be LinkedIn. You can find me on LinkedIn. The name is Haddy Folivi. Yeah, and what I also try to do on my LinkedIn is I'm constantly putting out content because some people don't really know what publicity is and how it works. So you can follow me. You can follow my content. I'd be happy to connect.
Most of us have a story that we want to take to rest of the world. And thank you for providing that avenue. I am amazed at what you do and the results that you bring to the table.
Thank you. It's really my passion, my absolute passion to show people to the world and to help them to be their best selves. And I know that might sound cliche, but every time I get something in print for a client, I'm screaming down the house. Today, I must have secured over 400 to 500 media features for our clients across the years. But for me, every win is a win. Every client has got a different story. And sometimes we think, oh, but let alone me, I don't have a story. Everybody's got a story to tell. It's about putting it out there and letting your business reap the rewards.
So let's get more stories out there. And thank you for being part of the story.